Schaefer, linebacker from Abilene Christian, and this is a Red, White, and You podcast hosted by Kendra Sheehan.
Week 7 is in the books, and the race for the UAC title is heating up. We have two teams that remain unbeaten in conference play. Hello and welcome into the Red, White, and You podcast, the official podcast of the United Athletic Conference. I'm your host, Kendra Sheehan, and one of those undefeated teams in conference play is Abilene Christian. And this week we have the QB1 in Stone Earle joining the podcast. Stone, thanks for joining, and how are we feeling today? 3-0 in conference play.
I feel great. The team feels great. We're looking to just go 1-0 this week. We've gone 1-0 on the road last week. That was our first away win, so that was nice to get. And then we kind of just have to have the same mentality, not look too far ahead and not look back on what we just did this past week, and just stay where our feet are, which is week by week.
And, it really seems like when you look at this team, offense is clicking, defense is helping out your offense. Special teams has done a solid job. And so through your lens, how is this team coming together as, we're through 7 weeks of football?
I think the team is molding together great. We've talked about it a little bit throughout the week. Like, our defense, whenever we play home, our defense is getting a ton of takeaways, and we just need to translate that to away games. Like, we haven't gotten as many takeaways. And then on the road, we haven't scored as much points. So we're looking to do that, because at home, I think we're averaging 42-ish points or so. And if we can score points like that and our defense gets takeaways, that's whenever we're playing that complementary football that we know is very special at times.
What do you think is that difference maker, that when you're playing at home, everything is at another level, when as the road, is it the environment? Is it the travel that is hindering some of that success?
I think there's just, anywhere you go, there's just a ton of distractions, whether it's guys aren't as locked in, or like sometimes people just like being in front of their own fans. And I feel like for us, getting that first away win last week is kind of just a spark to the rest of the season. Whenever we have to go on the road, like our coach KP talked about, he split it up into 3 different segments. We had 2 away games two away games coming up. So we had one last week, and then this one this week. And then we have our bye week, and then we have 2 home games, and then we have 2 more away games. So he's kind of broke it up into 3 parts, where we just have to focus on each little stage that we're in right now. And then at the end, we control our own destiny.
And you'll have another road matchup this weekend. You'll head all the way out to Cedar City. So that's probably one of the longest road trips you'll take in conference play. So how do you tackle this week, knowing that once again you're on the road and you might be able to come out with the same result, remain undefeated in conference play?
Yeah, I think it's just the mindset of having great practices this week, and then knowing, we kind of know what it looks like to get a road win like last week in a different environment. So just building off of that, and like I said earlier, just kind of playing some complementary football together, and not letting the distractions of traveling or other things get to us, and just focus on winning the game.
What do you like about the offense that Keith Patterson has you guys running?
Man, I love it. I've been in a lot of different offenses and a lot of different coaches, and Coach Harrell does a great job of dialing it up each week and showing different looks with plays that we're comfortable with. And with this conference, a lot of teams try to throw a lot at you defensively, and it's just he dials up great plays where we just have to trust our eyes. And at the end of the day, playmakers have to make plays, and I just have to put the ball in the hands of my guys, and I know that they'll make plays in the end.
So looking at your career, you started at ACU. That was the COVID year in 2020. So then 2021 was really your freshman year. You started the first 7 games, and then you got injured. Take me through that year, your first year in Abilene, and what went into the year before, unfortunately, your season got cut short.
Yeah, so it was super fun. I had a lot of good relationships on the team, and I was in a good quarterback battle building up to that. And went into the season, I think we started with SMU, and then played a couple. We played at the I think it was or Louisiana College, and then we played UTPB. So we got 2 wins right there, and then we kicked off with Lamar. We went to Lamar, and that was kind of like our first bigger win of the season conference game. And we ended up playing them twice that year. The second time we played them was when I got hurt, which was game 7. But the season, like, I think there was a couple close games where we didn't finish off well, so it kind of made our record go down a little bit. But for my first season, it was good to kind of get games under my belt and get comfortable with college football.
And from there, you spent 2 seasons at UNT, and then you went to Marshall. You were part of the team that was the Sun Belt champions before coming back to Abilene Christian. So I know you had quite the college journey, and various things happened along the way, and you really had to be resilient. So how did you develop that courage to continue to fight week in and week out? And come your senior year, you're a starter for a team that is undefeated in conference play so far.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of adversity in my career, whether it's like injury wise or just situations that happen. And I think the main thing is I just kept coming back because I knew what kind of player I was, and I trusted that like if someone gives me a chance and I get out on the field, then like I'm gonna do great things, and just trusting that. And also at the end of the day, like I love football, I love playing it, and I enjoy being out on the field with the guys that you build relationships with. So I couldn't let go of any of that throughout all the hard times. So that's something I stuck to, and I just trusted the Lord that like He's gonna one of these years He's gonna make it happen for me, and that's this year. So.
And now that it is this year, I mean, you look back at your journey, and obviously you're thankful for the ups and downs, whether, it was the way that you wanted it to be or not. But looking at this year, I mean, how do you describe what it's like to be leading this team, to be in this position, and to fulfill those dreams that you had initially coming into college, and then things kind of went sideways?
Yeah, it's like this year it's been awesome to be able to lead this team. Like we started off a little bit slow, and then we had a little hiccup game at Incarnate Word, but other than that, like we're right where we want to be, 3-0 in conference with controlling our own destiny, and all those situations that led up to this, like I think it's prepared the team well, and myself as well, just to pursue through all that adversity throughout the season that kind of is thrown at you. I feel like it's in the long run, it's gonna pay off a lot whenever we're trying to make a run.
And I was actually talking to Keith Patterson previously about when he first arrived on campus, and you guys initially had a conversation. You were still with Abilene Christian, and then you opted to go closer to home, play at North Texas and Marshall. And he had said, the door's always open if you want to come back. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with him. I know you briefly knew him, but then coming back and reestablishing that relationship and having a coach that believes in you as that QB1.
It's pretty cool. Like whenever I was in the portal, he gave me a call, and I was talking to him, and within I want to say 5 minutes or so, it's like I felt closer to him than any other head coach. So I was like, I can't turn this down. Like he trusted me, and like I gave all my trust in him because we didn't have an OC whenever I committed here in January. So he was like, just trust me. His big thing is just trust me, stud. I got it going. So, and I trusted him, and it's paid off. So
You hear that quite a bit from the various players who have played under Keith Patterson, is that he just gives you that sense of trust that you can believe in him. How does he do that? I mean, what does he say that allows you to be like, all right, yeah, I'll trust you?
it's weird because he's he's straightforward. He'll tell you how it is. And a lot of coaches nowadays, they try to beat around the bush or kind of shy around from telling you the truth. They tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And KP, he'll tell you straight up what's going on and what you need to do. Like he told me whenever I wanted to come here, he's like, you're gonna have to compete for it and show that you're the guy. And like for that, just trusting him, and like I love KP. He's the great coach.
One of the things that he also mentioned, just looking back at your history, is that you needed to put the past in the past and you needed to believe that what you could do at Abilene Christian was different than anything that you had done. And he described it as almost a weight lifted off of your shoulders when you could just go out there and play the game you loved carefree. Is that how you took that situation and some of those conversations that you can go out there and it feels weightless?
Yeah, so I want to say it was like maybe a week and a half until fall camp was over with. He pulled me into the office and was just saying, like he could tell I was kind of holding back a little bit and not really like I was performing well, but not performing like he knew I could. And he was just saying how I need to let go of all the situations that's happened at North Texas or Marshall, and just like the situations that happened with the coaches and all that. He said you just need to let go and just go out there and ball and don't think of anything and just be yourself because at the end of the day, that's going to be more than enough. And that helped a lot. I think I had a really good last week, which allowed me to win over the job and have some of the success that I'm having this year.
And, I imagine that him saying that, that's nothing that you probably weren't telling yourself, hey, I got to forget the past. This is a new year. This is a new
Yeah.
team. But what was it about, that conversation that did help flip the switch so that you could go out there and what you were thinking, hey, this is how I need to perform, you actually did do it.
I think it's he just has a good way of wording everything and making making myself believe in him and making him believe in myself. I feel like he just worded it well to where it's like, okay, I need to let go, hit the reset button, and it kind of gave me like a more of a trust with him that okay, he knows I can do it. I just have to show it, and it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, and it helped tremendously because I feel like I was able to go out there and perform well.
You look at also your family background. I mean, your father John played offensive line for the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Falcons, the Rams. What advice had he given you just in terms of, he was blocking for the QB and kind of helping you with that role?
Yeah, he sends me messages every day just about long paragraphs that like whether it's a verse or it's just something about the season or the day, attack practice today. Like he's always been that one person pouring into me consistently, which I appreciate. Like I don't he doesn't know how much it means to me. Like sometimes we joke around with him texting me these long messages and all that, but at the end of the day, like a lot of people don't have that in their lives, and I'm extremely grateful to have someone that pours into me like he does.
If you could say one thing to your dad, and we'll just send this podcast link to him, what would it be after all the years of support and helping you out?
No, I think the only thing you can say is just thank you. Like there's been so many hard times throughout all of this that I'm sure he's been frustrated too, but he knows that he was the one of the main people that's been there for me whenever all these things are going down, and he just continues to pour out just verses or just some tips that he has just to keep my mind fresh on and focus. Like I can't sometimes you can't control what things happens, but you can control how you respond to it.
You look at the name Earl at Abilene Christian. I mean, it means something. Of course, you, Stone Earle, leading 3-0 in UAC play, but then Bella Earl, your cousin. I mean, she was a rock star for this program for
Yeah.
basketball as well. What is it like to share the ACU legacy with your cousin who, meant so much to the women's basketball program?
It's pretty cool because I was here before her, and then she committed, and it was like, oh, now we have two Earls, and they're both number three because I was three here at first. So that was pretty cool. And then coming back over the years, like coming to a game and watching her, and then being able to watch her this past season was like I was at every home game, and that was awesome. And it's pretty cool being able to share that with her.
And also, just going back to your dad, because I look at some of the work that he's done, just impacting the community in such positive ways. He speaks at schools, at prisons, jails with the Think Twice ministries. How have you watched your dad put himself in those positions and help other people? And how does that kind of transition to maybe what you want to do and the impact you want to have, not just in football?
He's just a hard worker. Like every week They'll show some pictures here and there of him in the prisons, just dripping sweat in his. They wear their little NFL jerseys, dripping sweat, yelling into a microphone, and it's crazy. Like he's more passionate about that than he was with football, and like he translates the football into the prisons, and it's literally like he's playing a game in there whenever he's preaching. A lot of people, whenever they hear my dad and my uncle speak, it's like, man, for some reason, it's one of those people where you just can't stop listening, and you can listen to all day just because the way they capture your attention, it's unheard of, honestly.
What is their main message when they're going into these environments and talking to these people?
I would say one thing that I've heard a lot is like you've sinned in the past and you're here now. So that's like the main thing is God forgives you for what you've done, and it's what you want to do with your life now is probably the main message that I've heard them talk about.
And of course, I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the background because you got married in May, and that's your beautiful
Yep.
wife there in the pictures. Fantastic. Take me through what it's like to be a husband this year and be a football player and all the life things that are happening besides just the game.
It's awesome being able to come home to someone after, I mean, every day after practice. Whether it's, I mean, the awesome thing is my refrigerator is always stocked with drinks and snacks. And whenever I was here in January before we got married, she was back in Fort Worth, and I would come home and my fridge probably had a few water bottles in it, but now it's got body armors, propels, everything you could think of. So that's honestly nice. But just the home feeling I get whenever I'm able to come home, and whether it was a good day or bad day, like everything when I come home is just resets, and I'm able to just talk things out or have a comforting shoulder to lean on. So that's always nice. And she likes to say she gets the credit whenever I play good. She's always like, "Yep, that was all me."
Hey, I mean, if she's stocking the fridge and that's what's fueling you, then
Yep.
let's get. Well, you do have to hit the road this weekend. You'll take on Southern Utah. Just as we bring it back full circle to UAC football play. What does this team need to do on the road to get this win and remain undefeated?
We just have to protect the football. We got to create turnovers on defense and play complementary football and just focus on going 1-0 this week.
Well, Stone, it has been wonderful getting to know you better. Thank you so much for your time as ACU will head to Cedar City, Utah to take on Southern Utah. It is a 7:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. You can watch that on ESPN Plus. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Go Wildcats.